Hello, I am Ciara DeComey, and I am so incredibly excited that you're here. Thank you for tuning in. And you may have gotten here through the website and subscribed to our station, our channel, our program here, or you may have found us on YouTube. I don't know, it doesn't really matter, but thank you for following. So I want to just kind of start with what I'm going to be doing in this series of videos is really like a breaking down 9 steps that I do in my program. My program is Source Wisdom Radiance, manifesting health, wealth, and happiness from the inside out. So I want to talk about the 9 steps that we walk through in the program and just give you some tips and tools that you can use today. Obviously, in the 90-day program, we go into a lot more detail, and then of course I'm there to support you in walking through the journey and really fleshing through some of these concepts and ideas and really applying them from week to week to week. And it's kind of like, I always look at it like a pro basketball player or ball player. They generally have a coach, right? Or a trainer or someone that is supporting them in getting to that next level, because we don't necessarily see our blind spots. Well, that's obviously why they're called blind spots. And so having someone there to kind of support you through it, we do that in great detail. But these 9 steps will get you started and definitely give you benefits if you apply them. So let's start with step 1. I always start with mindset in anything that I do. And step 1 is really getting a deeper understanding for the inside out nature of life. And what in the heck does that even mean? The inside out nature of life. So the best way to probably describe that is to describe the opposite of that, which is pretty much what all of us do. And by that, I mean, our experience always looks like it's coming from the outside. For example, we're driving in traffic, we get cut off on the road by someone. It just massively triggers something in us. And so that experience, that triggering, that upset, that annoyance, that whatever it is, the anger, frustration, that triggering is coming from the inside. But in the world, it really looks like it's coming from that big fat jerk who cut us off, right? So, and you can look at it from anything that happens in our life, right? So we get upset by our boss, we get upset by our kids, our spouse, our dog, our cat, or what have you, and it triggers something in us. But when we deepen the understanding of the inside out nature of life, it gives us our power back. It empowers us to make better choices, to relax a little bit, to not have those situations upset our body, which could upset our mind, or vice versa. And so the inside out nature is really getting an understanding, a deeper understanding that all of our experiences are coming from the inside. And so what this first step is all about is starting to see that in your life. And there's 2 ways of going about doing that. So it doesn't really matter which way you do it. The key here in step 1 is to notice. And just notice. Sounds very simple, and it is. And I want to give some credence here to a gentleman by the name of Sydney Banks. If you are not familiar with the inside out understanding, or he called it the 3 principles, which is mind, consciousness, and thought. And I don't want to go too deep down that rabbit hole because he was absolutely incredible. Simple man, had an enlightenment experience and discovered these principles and brought them out to the world. And not a lot of people knew about him. And he really saw an impact, or wanting to make an impact in the world of psychology. And he did. And so that's where actually this inside out understanding comes from. Although what's fascinating, if you study any spiritual leaders, teachers, Eckhart Tolle, Michael Singer, you even go back to the Buddha, Jesus, a lot of what was said was all about this inside out understanding that this experience of life is coming from the inside. So, okay, so 2 ways you can kind of flesh through this and start to notice how much this is really true. And you want to see how it's true for you, not because I'm telling you or you read it somewhere. You want to actually experience it for yourself, because that's usually when we know it's something is true, if we actually have the experience of it. So a couple things. One would be your triggers, right? Triggers are like amazing. We think they're horrible, but actually it allows us to see something different. And so if you are driving down the street and you do get cut off by someone and you do get triggered, just notice. And when you can step back from it, take a deep breath and step back from it and actually see where this trigger is coming from, it'll all come back to yourself. So, and that could show up anywhere. Show up at work or at home, or your kid's soccer game. I mean, just who knows, right? But we all just get triggered. Now, if you're a very lucky person and super evolved, then perhaps you don't have triggers. And if you don't have triggers, then you can actually do the kind of opposite. So say, for example, you have an experience of love and you're just inundated with love and appreciation and gratitude and abundance, and you're just overflowing with that. It may actually occur like, again, it's an experience coming from somewhere else. Like you see your dog, you walk in the door and there's your dog giving you all kinds of unconditional love. And it seems like it's coming from the dog, but the reality is it's coming from you. Like there's that experience coming from you and your well-being and yourself. So just play with that. And another place you can play with it is actually out in nature. If you are out in nature and you get that sense of just deep knowingness or deep groundedness or just satisfaction or peace, calm, quiet, so good. I'm craving the outside right now, just saying all that. So yeah, if you have that experience, just recognize it's not because you're in nature, although I believe nature helps. It's actually coming from you. So, and it's empowering. It's empowering. So I urge you to go through this step and start to notice. That's all there is to do in step 1, is just notice the inside out nature of life. Yay. So any questions, you know where to find me, reach out. Thank you so much. And I am wishing you a wonderful day, peace, and I love you. Thank you.